So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16. So we read what were many translation also. 16th chapter, we can read again. Translation, verse. The chapter is entitled as The Divine and Demoniac Nature, Daiva Ashur Sampat. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti Dhanam Dhamashta Yagyashta Shadhyastava Arjavam Vayam Shashattam Apradas Dago Shanti Rapaishanam Dayavati Shadaluptam Martha Uvacha Bala Tejak Diti Shocham Adroho No Otimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Devi Bhavajatasya Bharat. Last day we read the what-word meaning, we are in translation now. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharat, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Purport. In the beginning of the 15th chapter, the banyan tree of this material world was explained. The extra roots coming out of it were compared to the activities of the living entities. Some auspicious, some inauspicious. In the 9th chapter also, the Devas are godly and the Asuras, the ungodly or the demons, were explained. Now, according to Vedic rites, activities in the mode of goodness are considered auspicious for progress in the path of liberation, and such activities are known as Daivik Prakriti, transcendental by nature. Those who are situated in the transcendental nature make progress on the path of liberation. For those who are acting in the modes of passion and ignorance, on the other hand, there is no possibility of liberation. Either they will have to remain in the material world as human beings, or they will descend among the species of animals or even lower life forms. In the 16th chapter, the Lord explains both the transcendental nature and its attendant qualities and the demonic nature and its qualities. He also explains the advantages and disadvantages of these qualities. The word Abhijatasya, in reference to one born of transcendental qualities or godly tendencies, is very significant. To beget a child in a godly atmosphere is known in the Vedic scriptures as Garbhadhan Sanskar. If the parents want a child in the godly qualities, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of human being. In Bhagavad Gita, we have studied also. Before that, sex life for begetting a good child is Krishna himself. I'm reading. In the Bhagavad Gita, we have studied also before that sex life for begetting a good child is Krishna himself. Sex life is not condemned, provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness. Those who are in Krishna consciousness at least should not beget child like cats and dogs, but should beget them so that they may become Krishna conscious afterward. That should be the advantage of children born of a father and mother absorbed in Krishna consciousness. The social institution known as Varnashram Dharma, the institution dividing society into 4 divisions of the spiritual life and 4 occupational divisions or castes, is not meant to divide human society according to birth. Such divisions are in the term of educational qualifications. They are to keep the society in a state of peace and prosperity. The qualities mentioned herein are explained as transcendental qualities, meant for making a person progress in spiritual understanding so that he can get liberated from the material world. In the Varnashram institution, the sannyasis or the person in the renounced order of life is considered to be the head of the spiritual head or the spiritual master of all social statuses and orders. These actually 26 qualities in part-1 Bhagavad they explain nicely. Especially meant these 26 qualities are important in different type of people. Some qualities is mandatory for sannyasis, some are for grihasthas, some are for brahmacharis. So, in Varnashram institution, the sannyasi or the person in the renounced order of life is considered to be the head or the spiritual master of all the social statuses and orders. A Brahman is considered to be the spiritual master of the 3 orders, of the 3 other sections of the society, namely the Kshatriya, the Vaishyas, and Shudras. But a sannyasi who is on the top of the institution is considered to be the spiritual master of the Brahmanas also. For a sannyasi, the first qualification should be fearlessness. So from here, we were explaining Iswar. The fearlessness. First qualification is fearlessness. Avayam. For a sannyasi, the first qualification should be fearlessness. Prabhupada at the age of 71, no fear of death. Because the sannyasi has to be alone without any support or guarantee of support, he has simply to demand on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one thinks, after I leave my connections, who will protect me? He should not accept the renounced order of life. Who will take care of him? Krishna will take care. Not the society will take care. One must be fully convinced that Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead in its localized aspect as Paramatma is always with him. That he is seeing everything and he always knows what one intends to do. One must thus have firm conviction that Krishna as Paramatma will take care of the soul surrendered to him. I shall never be alone, one should think. I shall never be alone, one should think. One day Guru Maharaj told, he, Guru Maharaj told, I asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I think I should have joined before, because when you were in America, nobody is with you. Now so many disciples to serve you, but when you were in America, there is nobody with you to serve. I should have joined before to serve you. Without taking a pause, he said, I was never alone. That is devotee. Devotee never think alone. Krishna is always. Even if I live in the darkest region of a forest, I shall be accompanied by Krishna, and he will give me all protection. That conviction is called avayam, fearlessness. This state of mind is necessary for a person in the renounced order of life. Next point is Sattva Sangshuddhi, avayam Sattva Sangshuddhi. Second point, Sattva Sangshuddhi. Sattva means existence. So then he has to purify his existence. Sattva Sangshuddhi. There are so many rules and regulations to be followed in the renounced order of life. Most important of all is sannyasi is strictly forbidden to have any intimate relationship with a woman. This Sattva Sangshuddhi. Man and woman both are good, but their union is not. That is why strictly forbidden to have any intimate relationship with a woman. He is even forbidden to talk with a woman in a secluded place. Lord Chaitanya was an ideal sannyasi, and when he was at Puri, his feminine devotees could not even come near to offer their respects. They are advised to go down from a distant place. This is not a sign of hatred for women as a class, but it is a stricture imposed on the sannyasis not to have close connections with women. One has to follow the rules and regulations of a particular status of life in order to purify his existence. I'm reading again. One has to follow the rules and regulations of a particular status of life in order to purify his existence. For a sannyasi, intimate relations with women and possession of wealth for sense gratification are strictly forbidden. First, tell about only women. Second, he's saying not only women, money also. Not have close connection with women. For sannyasi, intimate relations with women and possession. Women and possession of wealth. Very dangerous. What is connection? If you have connection with possession and the wealth you have, if that wealth you are not using for Krishna, that means you have something other than Krishna. If you have some wealth not using for Krishna, that means you are keeping for someone who is not Krishna. That is Maya. That is your interrelated. So relationship to women and also wealth, both are dangerous. It is strictly forbidden. Sannyasi should not have any money. No personal bank balance. Prabhupada wrote on Vrindavan Bhajan. He said, what will be the nature of Kali Yuga? Nature of Kali Yuga will be there. But jokingly, right? Nature of Kali Yuga Sannyasi, there are crores of rupees in the bank balance, and Grihastha will go to Sannyasis for begging money. That will be nature of Kali Yuga. Sannyasi is supposed to go Grihastha for begging money, but in Kali Yuga, Grihastha will go to Sannyasis for begging money. So that is why one should be very strict, especially for Sannyasis. No relationship to women and money. The ideal Sannyasi was Lord Chaitanya himself. And we can learn from his life that he was very strict in regards to women. Although he is considered to be the most liberal incarnation of Godhead, accepting the most fallen conditioned souls, he strictly followed the rules and regulations of the sannyas order of life in connection with association with women. One of his personal associates, namely Choto Haridas, was associated with Lord Chaitanya along with his other confidential personal associates. But somehow or other, this Choto Haridas looked lustily on a young woman, and Lord Chaitanya was so strict that he at once rejected him from the society of his personal associates. Lord Chaitanya said, for a sannyasi or anyone who is aspiring to get out of the clutches of material nature and trying to elevate himself to the spiritual nature and go back home, back to Godhead, for him, looking toward material possessions and women for sense gratification, not even enjoying them, but just looking towards them with such a propensity is so condemned that he had better commit suicide before experiencing such illicit desires. So these are the processes for purification. This verse, Nishkinchanasya Bhagavad Bhajananukasya Ahanta Param Param Jigimisha Param Jigimisha Bhavara Sagarasya Sandarsanam Vishayane Matas Jashitangsha Hahanta Vibhapshan Api Ashad. Those who want to spiritual advance, those who want to go back to Godhead, for him, looking towards material possession and women for sense gratification, not even enjoying them, but just looking toward them with such a propensity, is so condemned that he had better commit suicide before experiencing such illicit desires. So these are the processes for purification. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives that type of punishment, that time Grihastha also, Grihastha becomes so fearful. If we commit this type of mistake, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reject us from his accompaniment. By that type of punishment, Grihastha also very fearful to speak with their wives. That is the strictness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prema Chaitanya Jagadananda Pandit said, স্বপ্নেও না করো ভাই স্ত্রী সম্ভাষণ গৃহে স্ত্রী ছাড়ি ভাই আসিয়াছে. One should not think in the even in the dream also. Then he said, যদি চাহ প্রণয় রাখিতে চৈতন্যের সঙ্গে ছোট হরিদাসের কথা থাকে যেন. If you want to have eternal relationship with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then always meditate punishment given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Choto Haridas. যদি চাহ প্রণয় রাখিতে, if you want to keep loving relationship চৈতন্য, ছোট হরিদাসের কথা থাকে যেন। In such a way, we can purify our existence. So these are the process of purification. Abhayam, second Sattva Sangshuddhi. So Abhayam, how Abhayam? Always remembering Krishna. Sattva Sangshuddhi, not associated with money and women. The next item is Jnana Yoga Vyavasthita. Being engaged in the cultivation of knowledge. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthita. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, Sthiti, situation in Jnana Yoga, situated in Jnana Yoga. That means engage in the cultivation of knowledge. Is this knowledge not material knowledge? Sannyasi life is meant for distributing knowledge to the householders and others who have forgotten their real life of spiritual advancement. A sannyasi is supposed to work from door to door for his livelihood. But this does not mean that he is a beggar. Humility is also one of the qualifications of a transcendentally situated person. And out of sheer humility, the sannyasi goes from door to door, not exactly for the purpose of begging, but to see the householders or awaken them to Krishna consciousness. This is the duty of a sannyasi. If he is actually advanced and so ordered by his spiritual master, he should preach Krishna consciousness with logic and understanding. And if one is not so advanced, he should not accept the universal order of life. So sannyasi, next point, one should be knowledgeable. Murkha sannyasi is not like that. Sannyasi, he should preach with logic and understanding. And if not, one is not advanced, he should not accept the renounced order of life. If one is not enough to spread Krishna consciousness, then he should not accept sannyasa. That is why we see in ISKCON so much rules and regulations. Yes, it is required. ISKCON is the only organization who will save the whole world. And those who are the leaders of the society, ISKCON. The whole world is expecting so many things from them. But even if one has accepted the renounced order of life without sufficient knowledge, he should engage himself fully in hearing from a bona fide spiritual master to cultivate knowledge. Oh, without knowing that I have taken sannyas, what to do now? Can I give up sannyas now? Okay, no need of giving up, but you should sufficiently hear from a spiritual master. He should engage himself fully in hearing from a bona fide spiritual master to cultivate knowledge. A sannyasi or one in the renounced order of life must be situated in fearlessness, Sattva Sangshuddhi, and Jnana Yoga Sthiti. The first three is for sannyasi. Abhayam, Sattva Sangshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Sthiti. After sannyas, then coming grihastha. The next item is charity, dana, dan. Charity is meant for the householders. The householders should earn a livelihood by an honorable means and spend 50% of their income to patronize Krishna consciousness all over the world. The householder should livelihood and honorable means. Livelihood by an honorable means. He is not should do by selling meat and fish, by selling liquor and use that money for Krishna consciousness. No. Rubat Singh, The householder should be earn a livelihood by an honorable means. And whatever money income, profit, 50% should spend to patronize Krishna consciousness all over the world. Thus, a householder should give in charity to institutional societies that are engaged in that way. Charity should be given to the right receiver. These are different kinds of charity, as will be explained later on. Charity in the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Charity in the mode of goodness is recommended by the scriptures, but charity in the mode of passion and ignorance is not recommended, because it is simply a waste of time, money. Charity should be given only to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. That is charity in the mode of goodness. So we read these three types of in 14th chapter, 17th chapter, and 18th chapter. So they explain charity, faith, tapassa, food. All are three types: mode of passion, mode of goodness, and mode of evil. Dana, charity, dan. Then next is dhamma. So we read other so many 26 qualities. Over this explained very nicely. So first three sannyasi. Avayam means always feel presence of Krishna, never alone. Shatta Sangshuddhi, no connection with the women and money. Third, Jnana Yoga Vyavastha. One should be sufficiently knowledgeable to teach Krishna consciousness scientifically. The next 3 points are Dhamma, Dano, Dhamma, Dan, and Dhamma. Dhamma will be tomorrow. Dan, charity, especially for the Grihasthas. How? Grihasthas should do that type of business and respect honorable. Not, he should not earn money in sinful way. Pious way. And what money he will earn, he should spend 50% for patronage the Krishna consciousness movement. Every word, every sentence is very powerful. This purport is not coming from on Prabhupada's mouth. It's Krishna's desire. Krishna is telling through Prabhupada's mouth. And this thing was saying, whole world is appreciated. Prabhupada's purport is appreciated throughout the world. Why? Krishna wanted. Krishna wanted this purport should be spread. That means Krishna wanted that Krishna knowledge, Krishna has established his desire through Prabhupada. So these are the ordinary words. So I will believe this 50%, not this 50%. Those are grihasthas, those who want to become grihastha, keep in your mind, one should grihastha like this. If I want to be sannyasi, one should keep in mind, if I become sannyasi, I should be like this. At least 3 things. Avayam, Shatta Sangshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavastha. Maharaja, which thing I should practice if I want to take sannyas? These 3 things practice. Avayam, Shatta Sangshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavastha. Again, Prabhupada said, if you accidentally have taken, you have not all these qualities. At least sufficiently hear from your spiritual master. Engage yourself in hearing. Thank you very much. Vrindavan Naham. Jagat Vishnu. Shama Gaur Bhakti.